Hey, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you've clicked on this video, chances are you're dealing with procrastination. And trust me, you're not alone. We all face it. Whether it's putting off a big project, avoiding a chore, or even delaying something we really care about, procrastination has a way of sneaking in and keeping us stuck. You know the feeling, I'll do it later, right? Procrastination is something most of us experience at some point or another, and it's frustrating because we know we should be doing something, but for some reason, we just can't seem to get started. It's that feeling of looking at a task and thinking, this is too much or I'll never get it right. But here's the good news. You can break the cycle of procrastination. You don't have to keep putting things off. And today, I'm going to share 3 simple steps to help you get started, make progress, and finally break free from procrastination. Procrastination doesn't happen overnight. It builds up over time. And guess what? The first step in breaking it is often the hardest. But once you take that first step, you'll start to gain momentum. So let's dive into the first step right now, because the sooner you start, the sooner you can get things done. Step 1. Break down large tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces. This is where procrastination often begins. When a task feels too big, like organizing your entire room, writing a 20-page paper, or starting a huge work project, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and avoid it altogether. But here's the secret. When a task feels like a mountain, it's because you're focusing on the mountain itself. Instead, break that mountain down into smaller hills. Let's say you need to clean your room. Instead of thinking, I have to clean the whole room, focus on one section at a time. Start with just clearing off the desk. Once that's done, move on to the bed. Then, tackle the floor or closet. When you break it into smaller chunks, each task feels more doable, and you'll be able to make progress faster. The same goes for big work projects or essays. Don't try to write everything in one go. Start with a quick outline, or just write the introduction first. Once you've taken that small step, the next one feels easier. By focusing on smaller tasks, you not only make the big task less intimidating, but you also give yourself a sense of accomplishment after each step. And that feeling of progress is key. It will keep you motivated and help you continue working through the task without feeling paralyzed by its size. Step 2. The 5-minute rule. Now this is a game changer. Have you ever found yourself staring at a task and thinking, I don't want to do this, it's going to take forever? That's when procrastination kicks in. But what if I told you that committing to just 5 minutes of work could help you overcome that resistance? Here's how it works. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Tell yourself, I'm going to work on this for only 5 minutes. Sounds easy, right? It is. It's almost so short that you can't say no. And here's the thing. After those 5 minutes are up, you'll likely want to keep going. Why? Because once you start, it becomes easier. The hardest part is often starting, not finishing. Try it right now. Set a timer for 5 minutes and start working on something you've been avoiding. I promise, 5 minutes doesn't feel like much, but once you start, you'll feel that momentum. And that's the secret to breaking procrastination. Momentum. Just get started, even if it's only for a short time, and see how much you can accomplish. The beauty of the 5-minute rule is that it helps you get over that initial mental block. When you're thinking about a big task, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and tell yourself, I don't know where to start, or this is going to take forever. That's why 5 minutes works so well. It's small enough to not feel overwhelming, and it's a manageable commitment. But once you begin, something magical happens. Momentum. As you work for those 5 minutes, you'll start building momentum. You'll find that the task isn't as scary as you thought, and you'll probably end up working longer than you planned. That's the power of just getting started. So, next time you feel stuck, remember the 5-minute rule. Start small and watch how it propels you forward. Step 3. Let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is one of the biggest roadblocks to productivity. I mean, think about it. How many times have you put off a task because you wanted everything to be just right before you started? Maybe you wait for the perfect moment, or you obsess over every little detail, thinking it has to be perfect before you even begin. But here's the truth. Perfectionism often leads to doing nothing at all. You wait for the perfect moment, but that moment never comes. You wait for the perfect conditions, but those never materialize either. And before you know it, weeks or months have passed and you've gotten nothing done. Here's what I want you to do. Focus on progress, not perfection. Instead of trying to get everything exactly right from the beginning, focus on just getting started. Take messy action. Your first draft might be terrible, but guess what? It's a draft. You can refine it later. Your first workout might not be perfect, but at least you got moving. And that's what matters. Action, not perfection. Think about it this way. Imperfect action is still action. It's better than doing nothing at all. Let's say you're writing a report and it's not coming out the way you want. Instead of getting stuck in the details, just keep writing. Write something, even if it's not perfect. You can always revise it later. In fact, sometimes the best ideas come when you just start writing. Nothing is ever perfect at first, but you can improve it over time. Here's another example, starting a new fitness routine. Don't wait for the perfect workout plan. Just start moving. Go for a walk, do some stretches, or take the stairs instead of the elevator. Once you've started, you'll gain confidence, and you'll feel more motivated to continue. Perfection isn't necessary. Progress is. One last thing to keep in mind as you work through these steps. Be kind to yourself. Procrastination doesn't make you a failure. It makes you human. Everyone struggles with it at some point. So don't beat yourself up if you don't get everything done perfectly or on time. Remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. Self-compassion is key in this journey. Treat yourself with the same understanding and encouragement that you would a friend. You wouldn't tell a friend, June, you're terrible because you procrastinated on this task. Instead, you'd say, it's okay. Just take one step forward. It's better than nothing. Now that you've got these steps in your toolkit, the next thing you want to do is set yourself up for success. Set yourself up for little wins, because those wins build momentum. Break down the task into small, bite-sized actions and make sure you're taking those small steps regularly. The more you work on being consistent, even for just a few minutes a day, the more you'll start to see progress. It doesn't matter if your first draft isn't perfect or if your first attempt at a new habit doesn't feel like much. What matters is that you're showing up and taking action, even in small ways. The key is consistency, not perfection. Remember, starting is the hardest part. It's normal to feel that resistance, to think you can't do it, or that it's too much. But every journey starts with that first step. If you're waiting for the perfect time, for the perfect moment, you'll keep waiting forever. Don't let that fear of starting keep you from moving forward. Take a deep breath. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. You just need to take the first step, no matter how small. You've got this. All right, to wrap things up, break tasks into smaller chunks, use the 5-minute rule to get started, and let go of perfectionism. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Just start and let progress take over. Be kind to yourself and celebrate the little wins along the way. Remember, procrastination isn't about being lazy or unmotivated. It's about being stuck in that cycle of overthinking. You can break free, and you've read